Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on, YouTubers? I'm going to talk to you today about how this new expropriation bill is basically going to kill South Africa. Now, the bill that Ramaphosa signed into law is expropriation without compensation. Now, it's not necessarily land, but it's private property. And for most South Africans, they're not going to come after the land. They're not going to come after the property. They're not going to do any of that unless you criticize the government, which is one reason the opposition parties of the Economic Freedom Fighters Party and the MK Party oppose this, because they're probably going to go after their property as well because they're in opposition. Even though for several years the Economic Freedom Fighters Party argued for expropriation of land without compensation. They probably weren't thinking the whole thing through. It's a long story. And I'm not a fan of the Economic Freedom Fighters Party. That's another video for another day. Well, the Democratic Alliance say this expropriation without compensation bill, even though they're part of the government of national unity, they're going to take this to court. Well, Ronaldo Host points something out really, really well. What are you going to do? Take yourself to court? Because you're part of the government of national unity. Well, AfriForum is going to take this to constitutional court as well, more than likely. And more than likely, the constitutional court's going to look at it, and it's going to die within the constitutional court, provided the ANC has not controlled the courts. But basically, since the government of national unity has been formed, the African National Congress has walked all over the DA, the Democratic Alliance, and all over the Freedom Front Plus. And the Democratic Alliance and the Freedom Front Plus, Patriotic Alliance, all of them are walking on eggshells because they're really scared that if they tick off the ANC, the ANC is going to kick them out, and the ANC is going to have an ANC, EFF, and MK coalition. Well, Ronaldo Host pointed this out as well. There's so much infighting within the EFF and MK that coalition wouldn't last. And if that ever happened, the ANC would go begging back to the Democratic Alliance or the Freedom Front and the Freedom Front Plus, and the ANC would make more moderate policies. So the DA, the Democratic Alliance, needs to leave the government of national unity, and they need to go into opposition and play their strongest. But the Democratic Alliance, since they've joined the government of national unity, they have no backbone with this issue. But this expropriation bill allows expropriation of private property, so no foreign companies are going to do any sort of direct investment in South Africa because of this. And who the ANC really is going to go after is they're going to go after anybody who criticizes their government and take the property without compensation. It's going to be like early 2000s Zimbabwe. And where South Africa is already a third world country, they're liable to become a fourth world country if this bill goes into play, if this bill takes effect. Now, hopefully the constitutional courts will kill this and the bill will not take effect. But for a lot of South Africans, their retirement accounts are going to go down because the value of the South African rand is going to go down. Look at what happened with Zimbabwe's currency. This expropriation without compensation causes the national currency to go way, way, way down. And this is just a horrible, horrible situation. And this shows you, because Ramaphosa signed this on the law, that the African National Congress does not care about the economy of South Africa. They don't care about the people of South Africa. Be it if the person from South Africa is black, white, colored, or Indian, they don't care about any of them. All the African National Congress cares about is its own power and enriching themselves. And this bill proves that. And it also shows them how thin-skinned they are to any sort of criticism. Because the first people's property they're going to go after are people who have spoken out publicly against the government. I firmly believe. So, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.